February 25th, 1978. The Sierra Nevada mountains lay cloaked in snow, silent and unforgiving. In the dead of night, a car is found abandoned on a desolate mountain road. Doors unlocked, snacks uneaten, no footprints leading away, no sign of life. It began with a phone call late on a February night. A vehicle discovered miles from any paved road, nestled deep within the unforgiving embrace of the Sierra Nevada mountains. The doors stood ajar, an unsettling invitation into emptiness. Inside, the remnants of a hurried departure. Half-eaten snacks lay scattered on the seats, a testament to an interruption, a moment frozen in time. But the occupants? Gone, vanished without a trace, leaving behind only questions that echo through the decades. 5 men embarked on what should have been a routine journey, a drive to catch a basketball game. 5 lives intertwined, each with their own stories, their own routines, their own connections to the world they abruptly left behind. There was the veteran, the quiet strength behind the wheel, a man known for his reliability, his steady hand guiding them through life as he did on the road. Another, a soul navigating the complexities of his own mind. A former soldier, finding solace in the rhythm of his medication, a delicate balance now shattered by an unforeseen disruption. The gentle giant, a man whose kindness radiated outwards, his days marked by comforting rituals, a familiar presence now inexplicably absent. Why this detour into the desolate expanse of the mountains, a place so far removed from their intended destination? Why abandon a perfectly functional vehicle, its contents untouched, as if they had simply evaporated into the cold night air? Only one of these 5 would never be found, his absence a constant, aching void in the narrative. This is not just a story of men who went missing. This is a journey into the unknown, a labyrinth of unanswered questions, a testament to the fragility of our grasp on understanding. This is the story of the Yuba County Five. What unfolds in the coming hours is a reconstruction of those bewildering days, a piecing together of fragmented clues, a descent into the theories that have haunted investigators and families for generations. We will delve into the lives they led, the night they disappeared, and the chilling discoveries that followed the thaw of the Sierra Nevada snow. Join us as we attempt to unravel the enigma of the Yuba County Five. What do you think happened? Share your initial thoughts in the comments below. To understand the mystery, we must first understand the men at its heart. The driver, a Vietnam veteran, was the bedrock of his social circle, the one you could always count on. Friends described him as responsible, a man of routine. He was the natural choice to navigate the late-night drive. Another, a fellow veteran, carried the invisible wounds of war, a diagnosis that required careful management, a delicate equilibrium that those closest to him diligently protected. He had known periods of instability, moments where the world tilted on its axis. But at the time of their disappearance, he was reported to be stable, his condition managed with medication and the unwavering support of his family. The third was a gentle soul, a man whose life revolved around simple pleasures, a comforting predictability to his days. He was known for his kindness, his willingness to lend a hand, a steady presence in the lives of those he cared about. The fourth was a man of deep faith, his beliefs shaping his interactions with the world, his actions guided by a strong moral compass. He found joy in service, in offering support to those in need. And the youngest of the group, a naive and trusting young man, held a particularly close bond with the gentle giant, a friendship that offered him guidance and companionship. It is crucial to remember that any discussion of their mental or developmental conditions must be approached with respect and sensitivity. These were not defining characteristics, but facets of their individual experiences. Their families remember them not by any diagnosis, but by their laughter, their camaraderie, the unique roles they played in their lives. Their routines, the fabric of their daily existence, painted a picture of men grounded in their community, their sudden absence tearing a hole in the lives of those who loved them. The evening began innocuously enough. The five friends made their way to Chico, a neighboring town, to watch a UC Davis basketball game. Eyewitness accounts place them in the stands, enjoying the energy of the crowd, the thrill of the competition. Nothing seemed amiss. They were five friends sharing a simple night out. The last confirmed sighting of the five men placed them at Bears Market, a local grocery store in Chico. The time was after 10 p.m. They were seen purchasing snacks, the mundane act of buying provisions for a late-night drive. But where were they? Witnesses later reported seeing their vehicle leaving Chico, but heading in the opposite direction from their homes. A wrong turn? A change of plans? Or something else entirely? This deviation from their expected route remains one of the central, unsettling questions of this case. Have you ever taken a wrong turn at night and felt that sense of unease? That flicker of disorientation when the familiar landmarks disappear? What would you have done in that moment? Would you have immediately turned back or continued, hoping to find your way? The following day brought an unsettling silence. No calls, no word. For families and friends, this was deeply out of character. These were not men prone to spontaneous disappearances. As hours bled into a full day, a knot of anxiety began to tighten in their loved ones' stomachs. By the second day, the absence had morphed into a palpable fear. Phone calls were made to hospitals, to other friends, any thread of information desperately sought. By the third day, the agonizing uncertainty could no longer be borne in silence. Authorities were contacted. A missing persons report filed. The wheels of investigation began to turn, slowly at first, hampered by the lack of any discernible leads. The local media picked up the story, the initial reports matter of fact, unaware of the enduring mystery they were documenting. Desperation grew with each passing hour. These were not individuals who would willingly sever contact with their families. The tight-knit community felt the weight of their absence, a shared unease settling over the familiar landscape. The waiting was a torment, a vacuum filled only by unanswered questions and the gnawing fear of the unknown. Days turned into a week, the silence unbroken. Then, a breakthrough. The missing vehicle was discovered, not on a highway, not on a well-traveled road, but deep within the rugged terrain of the Sierra Nevada, near Oroville. 70 miles from Chico, a baffling distance in the wrong direction. There was simply no logical explanation for their presence in this remote area. The car was not stuck. It was functional. The keys, however, were nowhere to be found. Inside, an eerie tableau, the remnants of their hurried departure remained, untouched snacks a silent testament to an interrupted journey. The windows were slightly rolled down, an insignificant detail that would later fuel endless speculation. There was no sign of a struggle, no indication of any forced entry or violence. Adding to the perplexing nature of the discovery was the complete absence of footprints in the surrounding snow. How could five men have exited the vehicle and vanished without leaving a trace in the fresh snowfall? It was as if they had simply dissolved into the cold mountain air. Why would a group of men abandon a working vehicle, stocked with supplies, in freezing conditions, in the middle of nowhere? This single question lies at the heart of this enduring mystery. The discovery of the car only deepened the enigma, raising more questions than it answered. But when the snow finally began to melt, months later, the secrets the mountains held would begin to surface, revealing a truth far more disturbing than anyone could have imagined. With the discovery of the vehicle, the search intensified. Law enforcement, joined by countless volunteers, combed the rugged terrain surrounding the abandoned car. Search dogs strained at their leashes, their barks echoing through the silent forests. Helicopters whirred overhead, their mechanical eyes scanning the vast, unforgiving landscape. The conditions were brutal. Steep inclines, dense woods, and lingering pockets of deep snow hampered their efforts. Sub-freezing temperatures added an urgency to the search, the knowledge that with each passing hour, the chances of finding the men alive dwindled. Despite the extensive efforts, days turned into weeks, and still, no sign of the five missing men. The lack of any discernible clues was deeply unsettling. No footprints leading away from the car, no discarded belongings, no signs of struggle. It was as if the earth had simply swallowed them whole. The initial hope of a simple explanation began to erode, replaced by a growing sense of bewilderment. Months passed. The winter snows gradually receded, revealing the secrets hidden beneath their icy blanket. In May of that year, a group of motorcyclists venturing off the beaten path stumbled upon a Forest Service trailer, some 20 miles from where the car had been found. What they discovered inside would send a chilling wave through the investigation. Inside the trailer, they found a body. It was one of the missing men, the gentle giant, the routine-oriented soul. He was wrapped in bedsheets, frozen, and shockingly emaciated. How had he gotten here? Why hadn't he sought help? The questions multiplied with this grim discovery. Scattered nearby were items of clothing belonging to the other missing men. Shoes were missing. It was a bizarre and unsettling scene. Adding to the enigma, the trailer contained canned food, a source of fuel, and matches, all untouched. Why hadn't they used these readily available supplies to survive the harsh conditions? The discovery of the body in the trailer spurred a renewed and more targeted search of the surrounding area. Not far from the trailer, 11 miles from the abandoned car, the remains of two more of the missing men were found, the reliable driver and the deeply spiritual one. The elements had taken their toll, but identification was possible through dental records and personal belongings. Later, the skeletal remains of the youngest of the group were located approximately 2 miles northeast of the trailer. Each discovery added another layer of tragedy, another piece to the puzzle, yet the overall picture remained stubbornly incomplete, frustratingly illogical. But one man remained missing, the former soldier, the one who lived with the complexities of his own mind. Gary Mathias was never found. The only clues connected to him were his shoes, discovered inside the Forest Service trailer. His military background, including some survival training, only deepened the mystery of his disappearance. Had he wandered off on his own? Had he succumbed to the elements despite his training? Or was his absence tied to something far more complicated? Why hadn't they used the supplies in the trailer? A shelter, food, warmth, all readily available. Would you have tried to survive, utilizing the resources at hand, or would the panic and disorientation of the situation have led to irrational decisions? The untouched supplies in the trailer stand as a silent testament to a series of choices, or perhaps a lack of choices, that ultimately proved fatal. The mental state of Gary Mathias became a significant focus of the investigation. His diagnosis of paranoid schizophrenia raised questions about his potential actions and decisions in a stressful and disorienting situation. While he was reportedly stable with medication, extreme stress and unfamiliar circumstances could have triggered a relapse. It was revealed that Gary had a history of prior disappearances, brief episodes where he would wander off, only to return on his own. Could this disappearance have been another such episode, tragically coinciding with the dire circumstances in the mountains? Or did his mental state play a different, more pivotal role in the group's fate? One theory posited that Gary, perhaps disoriented or experiencing a psychotic episode, led the others into the wilderness. The effects of hypothermia, the dangerous drop in body temperature in freezing conditions, could have further clouded their judgment, leading to irrational behavior such as paradoxical undressing. The counterintuitive removal of clothing as the body's temperature plummets. Could a simple misinterpretation of road signs in the darkness have led them onto that desolate mountain road? Could a moment of confusion have spiraled into a desperate attempt to find their way back, ultimately leading them deeper into the wilderness? These are the questions that continue to haunt those who have studied this perplexing case. Local law enforcement, despite their extensive investigation, ultimately concluded that there was no evidence of foul play. Yet, the case remained deeply unsettling, a puzzle with too many missing pieces, too many illogical turns. As one investigator put it, it just doesn't make sense. The lack of a clear explanation fueled a multitude of public theories, some more plausible than others. The proximity of a nearby Air Force base led to speculation of military involvement, a clandestine operation gone wrong, or the men stumbling upon something they shouldn't have seen. Witness accounts, though unverified, added another layer of intrigue. Some claimed to have seen men matching their descriptions in the company of a woman and a baby in a pickup truck in the days following their disappearance. Could this have been a chance encounter, or a crucial, overlooked detail? The remote location and the bizarre circumstances inevitably led to more unconventional theories, whispers of cult activity in the region, or the possibility that the men were forced to flee from some unknown threat lurking in the shadows. The question of Gary Mathias's fate continued to fuel speculation. Could he have intentionally gone into hiding, his past disappearances suggesting a propensity for such behavior? Or did he succumb to the elements, his body never found in the vast wilderness? Let's revisit the known facts, the anchors in this sea of uncertainty. February 24, the basketball game in Chico. Late that night, the stop at Bears Market. Their vehicle then travels in the wrong direction. February 28th, the abandoned car is discovered deep in the mountains. Months later, beginning in June, the discovery of the bodies, one by one. Ted Weiher in the trailer, the others scattered nearby. Gary Mathias, never found. The glaring question that remains, the unshakable foundation of this mystery. Why did they drive up that mountain road in the first place? What compelled them to leave the familiar path and venture into the cold, unforgiving wilderness? For the families of the Yuba County Five, the decades since their disappearance have been a relentless cycle of grief and unanswered questions. Some cling to the belief that their loved ones were victims of something more than just a wrong turn, a tragic accident. The lack of a clear explanation leaves a void that speculation and doubt continue to fill. Decades have passed, yet closure remains elusive. The what-ifs and whys continue to echo through family gatherings and quiet moments of remembrance. The pain of uncertainty, the never-ending search for answers, has left an indelible mark on their lives. The mother of Gary Mathias, in a poignant interview from years past, expressed a sentiment that resonates with all the families. "He would have come back to me. That unwavering belief, that enduring hope, speaks volumes about the men they were and the love that still surrounds their memory." Over 40 years have passed since that February night, and no new significant evidence has surfaced. The case of the Yuba County Five remains a cold case, a haunting reminder of how easily lives can vanish, leaving behind only a trail of unanswered questions and enduring sorrow. The strange circumstances surrounding the disappearance of the Yuba County Five have drawn comparisons to other perplexing missing persons cases, most notably those highlighted in David Paulide's research on the missing 411 phenomenon. These cases often share unsettling similarities: disappearances in wilderness areas, unusual weather patterns, and the seemingly inexplicable behavior of the missing individuals. Northern California, in particular, seems to be a region with a higher-than-average number of these baffling wilderness disappearances. While experts caution against drawing definitive links between disparate cases, the recurring patterns cannot be entirely dismissed. Is there a logical explanation that accounts for the tragic fate of the Yuba County Five? Or does their story hint at something more inexplicable, something that lies beyond our current understanding? While we must be careful not to connect too many dots without solid evidence, the echoes of similar cases serve as a chilling reminder that the wilderness can hold secrets far deeper and darker than we can comprehend. 5 men ventured into the rugged beauty of the Sierra Nevada. Only 4 were found, their discoveries months too late, their final moments shrouded in mystery. A car, their initial vessel, stood abandoned, a silent sentinel guarding unanswered questions. A Forest Service trailer, offering potential shelter and sustenance, remained untouched, a haunting testament to decisions made in desperation or under the influence of an unknown compulsion. Why did they leave the relative safety of their vehicle and walk into the unforgiving cold? Why did they ignore the readily available resources that could have offered them a chance at survival? And where's Gary Mathias? His absence remains the most enduring question mark in this tragic narrative, a constant reminder of the one who was lost without a trace. The story of the Yuba County Five is more than just a cold case. It's a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of the unknown. It speaks to our deepest fears of the wilderness, of the unseen forces that may lie beyond our comprehension. It is a story that continues to baffle, to intrigue, and to sadden. What do you believe happened that fateful night in the Sierra Nevada? What theories have resonated with you as we've explored this journey into the unknown? If you have encountered similar cases, or if a particular detail has sparked a new insight, we encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below. The search for understanding, for even a glimmer of clarity, continues. Thank you for joining us as we delved into the enigma of the Yuba County Five. Their story serves as a stark reminder of the mysteries that lie hidden in our world, mysteries that demand to be told, mysteries that continue to haunt. If you've been captivated by this exploration, subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into real-life mysteries that continue to defy explanation.